Welcome, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. I wanted to talk to you about the success that I've had over the last year using my predictive modeling system and my TT scanner algos. Now, a lot of you may have questions about my $1,000 challenge account, and a lot of you may not understand exactly what I was trying to do. Now, I am a different style of trader. I do not like to try to day trade. I have my own life. I have my family. I have doctors. I have other things to take care of. I like to swing trade. And part of what I've been doing over the last 4 or 5 years is trying to show people how to trade efficiently using my TT scanner algos and using my predictive modeling system. Now, understand that my predictive modeling system, give you an example, today is the 27th, 26th of January, and my predictive modeling system is telling us that the S&P and the QQQ should move into kind of an early topping phase and then move into a breakdown phase into early February, potentially coming down into these lows here. So now, obviously, there's very little upside move left in the SPY and the QQQ based on my predictive modeling. My predictive modeling gets updated every day or every week or every hour, or every minute, depending on what interval I look at. The smart move, in my opinion, which is how I trade to show you how this sets up, is I will start moving into shorts or puts right over here in this location, expecting a breakdown to take place. So I'm looking for this breakdown to take place and I want to be positioned for it. I don't have to plan too much because it's very easy to get into put positions when the market's going up. When the market's going up, for example, I was able to buy into Tech S puts and QID calls and QQQ puts very easily, very cheaply when the market's going up. I moved my expiration date out for those options. I selected an expiration date out here near the 20th, so out in this area. Gives me plenty of time to see this make a move. Now, as I'm building this position, I start off fairly small. I don't want to go overboard trying to get a position in place when the market is moving higher, potentially. I will start off small here in case the market breaks down a little early, which can happen. I may add a little more up in this area, may add a little more up in this area. I will definitely add more once we start moving into this breakdown phase. Now, once we get into this move where it starts to break downward, I'm drawing it in red so you can see it. Once I started to get this breakdown move, then yes, I will start loading up into some trades, maybe 2 day, maybe 5 day, maybe 10 day. And I will try to possibly pick two or three X options. For example, I'm really looking for that opportunity to maximize the move with very little risk. So once I get confirmation of the move, then I start kind of leveraging into the position. Now, this means that I'm not trading every day. Okay. This means that in some cases I may have to set up a trade and wait 5, 6, 10 days for something to actually mature and move. And it does mean in some cases that I'm wrong. And you can see that through my historical results. So if you look over here and you see this is my current account as of today. You can see there are periods where I take drawdowns. Okay, you can see drawdowns over here. This was a fairly big drawdown. That was a pullback in metals. I got into a move, metals pulled back. Thankfully, though, I had enough time to actually turn around and get my money back and reposition and get into a nice little rally to see this growth. But again, the real reality here is I want to try to show you what you can do. So I started with $1,000 account, and the rule that I set up was that I will never trade more than 30% of that capital, meaning $300, giving me the ability to potentially fail once or twice or three times in the first couple of trades without really destroying the account. And that's very, very important. Until you build up enough capital to become an aggressive trader, you need to start thinking of it as I just want to take my 10, 20, 30% and call it good and move on to the next trade. So that means when I first started, I was in and out of trades maybe in 2, 3, 4 days. I couldn't hold them longer. I just wanted to get my 10 or 20 or 25% and get out. Over time, that builds up. You start getting some trades, and before you know it, you're up to 13, 14, 1500. And then before you know it, maybe a month, month and a half later, you're looking at a $2,500 account. You started with 1,000. Now you can start to be a little bit more aggressive. Now you're trading, six, $700 at the 30% level, and you can start to be a bit more aggressive. As the account grows, you get to 9, 10, 11,000. Now you can start to be a little more aggressive, trading $3,000 or $4,000 at a shot. Pretty simple so far, right? Now the trick is my predictive modeling. The predictive modeling shows us what the highest outcome, likely probable price move is over the next 20 or 30 days, or bars. Let's call them bars. So, knowing that the predictive modeling system is telling me that we're going to get into a breakdown, and this breakdown has been in place now for more than 15, 20, 30 days. So, I've known about this breakdown here. Essentially, I've known all of this. I've known that we were going to go up. I knew that we were going to get a big breakdown. I knew that we were going to come back up here, and I knew that we were going to get a big breakdown here. Now, this sets up another series of technical patterns, which I will explain maybe later, or if you become a member, I can explain it to you very easily with my current videos for subscribers. But the long and short of it is, I don't have to really do too much work. For example, I knew the markets were going up, so I got into a long position. When I was up here, I knew that the markets were going to set up a nice breakdown, so I got into a very solid short position here. We're literally right down off of these lows at the end of the day here. I started accumulating a bunch of longs, rallied them back up, and I was actually selling out of them over here, part of them, and sold the rest of them over here today. So now I'm completely flat on my long side, and I started setting up some shorts. But now I'm waiting for this breakdown here. So the point again is, I'm not trying to sell you the end all be all technical system. What I'm trying to talk to you about is, I will never tell you what to trade. I will share with you my research. I will share with you my technology. I will answer your questions, and I will try to provide the best research that I can. And if you are capable of doing what I am capable of doing, which is developing a mode of patience, waiting for the right setup, and protecting capital at all times, you can grow your account like I have done right over here with this result. Okay, you can turn $1,000 into maybe a $500,000 or more within about 15, 16, 17 months. You can see here, this is the result of my trading starting out. You can see how it's rolled higher. It continued. I've had a couple of drawdowns, like right here, right here. Here's another big drawdown or moderate drawdown. I still held my positions. I was trading growth, 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 and then this was a 50% pullback in my system. That was when, like I said, I was in the midst of moving my office and had a lot of other things going on. And then I got into this real big growth phase, and this is where we're at now, $315,000. Now, so you ask yourself, well, can anybody do this? Yeah, anybody can do this with a smartphone and with access to my Mint.com subscription service. Within my Mint.com service, you get access to my proprietary modeling system. You get access to my algos. You get access to everything that I can to help you become a more efficient trader. What I am not going to do is, I am not going to handhold you every minute of every day. That if you're not willing to put in the effort to make this work, then you're not going to succeed. I'm not going to hand you trades. I'm not going to tell you what to trade. I am going to deliver research. I am going to deliver advice. I am going to deliver content in written and video form. And I am going to let you use some of my tools. But beyond that, you have to put in the effort. Again, if you're not willing to put in the effort, then don't even bother signing up because I'm not here to stay and handhold you 24/7. This is a scenario where you need to learn to make your own decisions, and that's what I'm trying to do. Teach you how to make your own decisions. So you can get started if you want. A 60-day trial is $74.99. A 6-month trial is $169.99. It's very inexpensive. It's very functional, in my opinion, and it is probably one of the best deals you're ever going to find um, on the internet for this type of growth capacity. Remember, nobody has my predictive modeling system. Nobody in the world is going to be able to deliver what I can deliver, which is a moderately accurate, typically between 75 and 85% accurate forward prediction of what the markets are likely to do over the next 10 or 20 bars. In this case, 10 or 20 weeks, or 10 or 20 days, or 10 or 20 hours, whatever I look at. So it's up to you. If you're looking at my site, I want you to be aware that this is how I grew a $1,000 trading account into $315,000 in less than 13 months. Okay. Well, it's been about 13 months. I started on December 16th, 2024, and it's January 26th, 2026. So it's been a little over 13 months. And even when you look at the fact that back over here is about 120, 140,000, that was the end of the 1 year time frame, turned a $1,000 account into 130, 140,000. And you can see it right here. You can see right here. So by January 15th, by December 15th, I was at 55 grand. Then in another 20 days, 21 days, I grew it up, basically almost doubled it. And then I had a massive run of success in this last month, pretty much going straight up. This entire last, 3, 4, 5 months went from 10,000 to 300,000, and it's just a matter of catching the right trades. Of course, the markets have been crazy. Gold going up, silver going up, S&P all over the place, QQQ all over the place. These are big moves. When you come over here and you look at the SPY and the QQQ, these are pretty good moves. These are 3.5, 4.5% swings, and they're clean. So have the ability to trade them very effectively. So again, if you want to give it a shot, I welcome you. Come give it a shot. Learn to become a better trader. If this isn't your thing, I get it. Go find somebody else. It's all good. All right, guys. Talk to you later.